Hey everyone, it's Lav here. I'm doing your reading. What are people realizing about you today? So let's get into the reading. Sorry, I've been away for a minute here. For my pile ones, you guys are going to be this black orb. So, pile ones, you are the black orb. Pile twos, you are going to be the alligator slash crocodile. Not really sure what's what. And pile threes, you are going to be Voldemort, he who shall not be named. All right, so let's get at it. Put this over here. All right, so pile ones. Let's see what people are realizing about you. Look at this. When you get a notification, but it's from Team Snapchat. When your girlfriend suggests moving in together. Seven of Pentacles. Six of Cups. Seven of Pentacles again. The Star. Hostilities. Broken Heart. Knight of Wands. Six of Wands. The Devil and the Moon card. Alright, so for signs, we're seeing Cancer, Capricorn. We're seeing Aquarius. Okay, we're even seeing Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Alright, so I think people are realizing that you are kind of like, what the hell is going on? I think that people are seeing, they're kind of realizing right now that you may not be having the best luck and love at this moment, and you may be just a little bit focused on that. Sorry, some people went by the window, so it threw me off a bit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that people are seeing that you may be having a hard time in love right now, and you may have some hostilities surrounding your heart space and maybe the way that you're looking at love at this time. Because it seems like you're in a period, people are seeing that you're in a period of like going over things or like kind of like collecting data, maybe about the relationships in your life, maybe about the things in your life currently. Maybe even someone maybe talking about this element of like moving too fast in a relationship and things just like completely crashing and burning. Um, People could be realizing that you're actually kind of playing the field right now, but it's sort of against your will because maybe there's someone that you kind of wanted to boo up and, you know, they just maybe weren't having it or things just went totally left. You could have even been cheated on. Some people may be realizing that the person that you were seeing was actually kind of playing you at the time and, you know, had just like a lot of options and kind of left you with a broken heart that made you kind of hostile now at this time. I mean, people are also realizing that you have overcome whatever this is, right? Because like you're actually coming out on top because you really weren't the person that was playing the games within the relationship. So whatever was going on within that space, within this love dynamic here, is going to be revealed very shortly. I think that it was hidden from you, maybe how toxic this dynamic actually was. But I think in your heart of hearts, you knew the way that this kid is just like, oops, generally unenthused, right? Like that's what it's giving. Um, Poor guy. um, yeah, I am seeing that people are realizing that you're an incredibly healing person. People, I think, are often drawn to healers because of their ability to heal. However, oftentimes people also do abuse healers because of their incredibly healing energy. It just kind of can sometimes bring out certain people's dark sides. Um, so I think people are realizing that about you, that you do have the ability to heal, but that you may also have the ability to sting if necessary. Um, I think that people are now realizing that you. So I'm picking up on like past life energy and people being like, you know, I think I remember why I stopped fucking with you in like 16, 12 or whatever. So it's kind of giving that vibe a bit, which is pretty funny. Just kind of having those type of like soulmate relationships, even, or like twin flame dynamics, but like recognizing that they're unhealthy for you and being like, absolutely not. So yeah, I think that people are realizing that maybe the cards that you've been dealt with in love have been extremely just toxic and difficult for you. And maybe you have been getting the short end of the stick when it comes to that, and it's caused you to maybe look at things through a different lens, look at love through a different lens, look at relationships in general. It doesn't need necessarily have to be love. However, I am picking up on that a bit. People are also realizing that you've overcome some incredibly difficult things that were actually hidden from most people. I think a lot of people just don't know the things that you've been through because you particularly don't actually look like a lot of the things that you've been through. And that's definitely coming up heavy here. People are realizing that a lot of the reasons for why you were actually hostile were incredibly justified. If there was any points where you were having a hostile energy or in a mode of needing to protect yourself, there was reasoning for that. I think at first people thought you were kind of bugging for no reason, but it's like people are now realizing like absolutely not. I think the people that you were disagreeing with or people that you were having those hostile feelings towards, they're kind of being exposed by other people right now, and they're being seen very clearly, and people are like, oh, so that's exactly why that happened. No wonder that person was upset, right? No wonder they was upset. I think people are also realizing that you have a lot of spiritual gifts. They might even realize that you dabble in the dark arts as well, and I think that this has people a little bit freaked out, as they should be. Stay away. Okay. Mercury. Yeah, people are also realizing that, like, maybe, like, the way you decorate your home as well is, like, really kind of spiritual. People are definitely seeing your spiritual and healing side quite more than they are used to. But people are also realizing that you are pretty damaged from what you've been through. I'm not saying that you're not healing through it perfectly fine, but I really just feel like people are realizing you've been dealt some cards and some hands that are incredibly unfair to you, and you've just been doing your best to kind of combat. I just kind of get the vibe of someone who keeps running in to negative thing after negative thing, or just kind of like obstacle after obstacle. It's kind of like everything that could happen. When you hit every red light, it's kind of like giving that a little bit. And I think people are realizing, like, damn, Pile 1 actually did come up against this thing and this thing and this thing, and it's just like, that sucks for them, but like they're doing good. But like, no wonder I would feel the same way. Like, I feel like people are just like, yeah, they're agreeing with you. People are seeing why your anger is justified or why your hostility is justified as well. People are seeing it. It's very clear to them. I think people are also realizing that people like to gift you things as well. It seems as though you have a way of kind of infiltrating people's hearts quite easily. And not out of malice whatsoever. It's because you're so endearing, it's because you're so healing, and it's because you have this like childlike innocence about you that actually gains a lot of favor to the people around you, and they want to give to you because they can tell that you're like a sweet spirit. um yeah, I think people are just realizing how spiritual you are, and how this is something that you is like ingrained in you. I think that they're realizing that you will be passing this on to your children, and so on and so forth, right? It's kind of like a family gift, maybe even like an inherited gift that you may have also gotten from your family members, like your spirituality, maybe even your ability to assess character and communicate and stuff may have been passed down to you. I think people are realizing that. Yeah, but people are realizing that you're definitely a hot commodity. Like, people are realizing that you are someone in the public eye. You may even be a bit of a sex symbol in the public eye, but it's kind of like low key right now. There is like a hidden aspect to it. But I do kind of feel like people are realizing that you're maybe rebranding or getting ready to pop out in a whole different energy, because there has been some things that have truly changed you. You know? There have been experiences that have changed you. Arguably for the better, yeah, but some things that did not feel super great for you. And these are the things that people are realizing about you. Okay. So because my light may shut off at any moment, I'm going to stop those now. And we are going to move on to pile number 2. Okay. Thank you very much. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, please visit snakepetalhealing.com. And if you did like that, please don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so pile number 2, where are we? For those of you who chose the alligator / crocodile head, this is what people are realizing about you. When your leaked sex tape goes viral in Lithuania, 2 of Wands, 4 of Cups, the Empress, interference, strategy, 4th chakra, 9 of Swords, 2 of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and this. People are realizing that you actually just don't give enough. You do not give up. Are some of you like mothers? I'm definitely getting like you may be a mama bear type of individual. You may be the type to actually really love on the people around you. Some of you may also have big breasts that's coming up. People are realizing that about you. And I think that people may realize how much of a... People may be just starting to realize how much of a sexual appeal that you have. And also, people may be realizing that some of your spicy content has been leaked by someone, or someone may have put some of your spicy content on the internet, or people might be finding out that you make spicy content as well. And I feel like they're just finding out kind of like, you know, I don't think that you know that people know. I think people are finding out that maybe there is strategy when it comes to the way that you approach love. I think maybe out of fear. I think people may be realizing a little bit of the same as pile 1, when it's like they're kind of seeing maybe why you do the things that you do. And maybe previously when they had villainized you for maybe approaching love in a strategic way, they're starting to see why, because there are a lot of fears and maybe insecurities regarding things that may have happened to you in the past. Yeah, I think that people are also maybe realizing that if you don't make spicy content, you're kind of bordering on it perhaps, or deciding whether you should do it or not. There's something about like dipping a toe. Like, I don't know if people are realizing that you sell like feet pics or something. I'm not quite sure. But there is definitely some sort of spicy energy here that people are realizing about you. People also may be realizing that you have a long-term connection that you're in, or that you really value reciprocal relationships, and that they're quite important to you to be able to have some sort of balance, and that you will strictly not tolerate anything besides something that completely shows up in integrity for you when it comes to any of your partnerships. That's work, that's love, that's friendships, that's all around. I think people are realizing that you work really, really hard to preserve the things around you. I'm definitely getting this Taurian energy. We actually don't have any specific signs here right now, but I'm picking up on Taurus. Oh yeah, Taurus Libra with the Empress here. You really value your safety. People are realizing that about you, that you really just don't let people in because you don't want them to run amok in what it is that you have, dealt with. People might also be realizing that if you are a mother figure, or there's a mother figure in your life, that they may be going through some difficulty here, maybe feeling quite stuck, or there may be some sort of mental interference going on within your space or within their space that is kind of causing them to be off game here. Now, when it comes to your expansion and your growth as maybe in a business or organization or whatever it is that you do for a career or what you do for a hobby, people are realizing that there may be something holding you back here that is causing you maybe to not be able to fully present yourself in the best way, because there could be some mental things holding you back, some problems holding you back. But at the end of the day, you're still working very hard to put in the work. I think people are realizing that you actually are quite a workaholic as well. Whatever you do for career, people do see that you're very passionate at that, and I also believe quite successful. However, you may spend an awful lot of time there. And I think people are realizing that about you. They are realizing that you have a very big heart, but only with those that you would deem worthy in your space. And I mean, rightfully so, because a lot of the time we can let people in just for them to completely disappoint us and run an absolute muck. And that, I totally agree with you there. I think people are realizing that, like, you're not seeing anything as a missed opportunity anymore. You may have dwelled on things in the past, but I think people are realizing that you absolutely do not give any F's at this point. You're like, whatever losses you take, you're like, okay, it was meant to be. I was gonna take that loss, I guess, just to learn this thing to move on. People are definitely seeing that you are turning around some aspect of kind of stinking thinking. You're turning around some aspect of like keeping yourself in this mental prison here when it comes to your thoughts. And you are now just in this stage of acceptance, I think, within your relationships and the people around you and just whatever happens to you. I'm definitely getting this kind of stoic energy, but it's not quite as detached. It's just kind of like, I don't care. Like, literally, you have reached this nonchalant final boss, I think, is what people are realizing, and you're just really not having it whatsoever. Um, and the funny thing is like, I feel like this is my stoner pile as well. I think people are realizing that you smoke a lot too, and you're not about the drama. Like, you're not one to seek out the drama at all. I feel like people are the ones that seek out drama with you, and you find it entertaining because you're like, what? You think it's funny when people try to bring beef your way because, you're just like, what are you even on? Like, leave me alone, please. Please, skedaddle. You'll pretty much tell anywhere where to go and anybody where to go, and it's not actually going to phase you whatsoever. So people are realizing that about you, that you have this like very kind of funny, laid back energy that would cuss someone out if necessary, absolutely, without any hesitation. But I mean, you know, why is someone going to push you to that level? Yeah, people are definitely realizing your sensuality big time. There's some sort of like really like dreamy aspect to you that has people wanting to be in connection with you as well. I think that a lot of people are seeing how beautiful you are and really getting kind of intoxicated within your beauty and wanting to be a part of that. There's definitely like this element of softness as well and safety that you bring forward for someone that is kind of really turning people on. So yeah, people are realizing that they actually want to get around you and be around you and, maybe play around with you. Yeah, people are realizing that you're actually much more spiritually tapped in than they realize. A lot of people that harness a lot of sexual energy as well are very powerful, manifestors and even like sorcerers in that sense. They've got like a very, um, you know, healing ability within that wheelhouse, of sensuality. So yeah, people are really realizing your fertility, your sensuality, what it is that you can grow. Like, your garden is very fertile. Your fruit are very fresh and taste fantastic, and of course people want to throw them in the fruit salad or the garden salad. Like, that's absolutely what it's giving here. um I think people realize that you really like to journal or you like to write an awful lot as well. That's definitely coming up. Yeah, there's been this like fear within relationship here that's been turned around. I don't know if you were the type to maybe cling on to relationships quite a bit in the past, but it's just not something that you're doing anymore. You have seemed to be able to like turn this emotion around kind of on its head, and now kind of it works for you instead. People are also realizing that family is very important to you and that you are the type of individual that actually chooses your own family as well. And you take that very, very seriously. Okay. Yeah, people are realizing that you're going to, you're open to collaborating, but only with people that actually mean it. Like, you're not going to sit here and do anything with somebody that you think doesn't deserve your time. So thank you very much. That was your reading there, pile two. If you do like it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you'd like to purchase a personal reading with me, go ahead and do that at snakepetalhealing.com. All right, pile three. For those of you that chose Voldemort, let's see what people are realizing about you. When you see someone bite into a string cheese, Five of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, ooh, Ace of Discs, Angel of Balance, Community, the Hermit, the Nine of Cups, Two of Swords, Judgment, and this card here, this person pondering. So what are people realizing about you, pile three? People are realizing that you're like a very intensive thinker here. You are someone who actually knows a lot. I think that to a lot of people, you may come off as a little bit airheaded or a little bit vapid, maybe not even fully there, in a sense. To some, they may feel like you may be a little bit all over the place. However, that couldn't be further from the truth. You're incredibly tapped in. You just have a way of balancing things where you don't overexert energy in any certain way. Like, I think that you're quite balanced in that sense. Yeah, people are realizing that you have a very good balance with a lot of aspects in your life here. Let's see. Nine of Cups, Five of Cups. Yeah, I mean, when we went and started with Five of Cups and then Nine of Cups, I think that people are realizing that, like, you kind of are trying to live life with no regrets. So it's like there are situations that you may have regretted in the past that you like no longer do. I think people are starting to realize why you made the moves you made and that you were actually right to do what you did. There was also some of this in pile one. But I think people are realizing that you have a very strong community around you of people that really love and care about you. And you could be musicians as well. I think that people are realizing you're actually very good at what it is that you do. Yeah, people are realizing that you actually hold a lot of spiritual knowledge and that you may be a bit of a. This is like my popular loner pile. I think that people maybe have taken it the wrong way that you needed alone time, but really it's just like you need more time to recharge than the average person. For signs here, I'm seeing Libra, Virgo. And that's it. But yeah, you're needing much more, maybe Gemini. You're needing much more time to recharge than the average person because I just feel like you take on a lot of energies and it's very necessary for you to have that time. I think that your mind's always going as well, especially for these Gemini placements, possibly even Virgo, right? Like, I feel like people are realizing that you like see very clearly them and the fact that you're like, what is wrong with this person? Like, you may not say it outright to people, but people definitely can tell that you can see right through them and they don't really like it. They feel kind of naked in your presence when you're, watching them that way. It is not even something that you're voluntarily doing. It's just like you're seeing things for how they are, and you may just have a bit of a more of a higher perspective than a lot of people because right now I feel like this pal is going through like some sort of spiritual ascension. You are answering the call to this new version of you that has been birthed, and it's very important to do so when we get these downloads from spirit to be able to answer them, because there is a reason why you're being called to show up in this energy, right? Because people need you. There's definitely like a leadership aspect here, and I feel like there is a leader being born currently right now that isn't being able to be seen in their full scope, but they truly overstand a lot of what's going on around them. With Ace of Discs and Ace of Cups, people are realizing that you have a lot of opportunities. You are manifesting a lot of new business opportunities as well as health. If you were having any trouble with your health, people are realizing that you're now a lot healthier than before, and things are starting to kind of come to fruition for you in the sense where you are actually healing. I think that people are realizing that you may have had a bit of a hard time choosing yourself before, but that is no longer the case. I feel like you're on the very end of, the very end lesson of knowing when is necessary to choose ourselves and not put others above us. But yeah, people are realizing that you're super like fulfilled. You are very emotionally fulfilled. You don't need anyone else to, make you happy. And that's something that I think makes people be like, what the heck is going on here? But people are definitely realizing that about you. A lot of people do need someone around them to validate them, to, make them feel okay. And you're just not one of those people. So your spiritual practices here are there's a light being shined on them as well. I think that people are starting to realize, maybe your like home could be very like bohemian decorated, or even like, you know, just kind of like artsy looking. People are realizing that you are like a lover of decor. And there may even be this like dreamy aspect to your home. I don't know if some of your homes have been featured in like magazines for like homes and cottages and stuff like that. But I'm definitely seeing that as well. That's coming up. For some of you, some people may be realizing that you are the way you are because one of your parents has passed down information to you. You are very similar to one of your parents, and I think that people are realizing that about you. There's a light being shown on maybe the way in which you were raised as well, whether this be good or bad, maybe even. And if it is bad, maybe it wouldn't necessarily be that you're similar to your parents. So, do take or leave whatever you think resonates, because this is a collective reading. Not everything is going to be maybe for you, or it may. But, right, just, think about that. Yeah, people are realizing you may seem like the unsuspecting person within a friend group, or like not the one that there's like an inconspicuous vibe to you here, but like you're actually very, very in control. I think people are starting to realize that you may be like a bit of a puppet master, or like bit of a genius in a way with whatever it is that you do, despite coming off in a way that seems very inconspicuous. Yeah, people may be realizing that you don't look like what you actually are, um, in a good way, you know. I just think a lot of people maybe even downplayed you before and talked to other people about how you just didn't know what was going on. You don't have a clue in the world. Like, so and so is so lost. And then, next time they check on you, they're like, what? How did they know that? Literally, how did this person know that? Like, they shouldn't know this information. What? They have this degree. What? They do this. What? They do that. Oh my god, I thought this person was just blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah. So, who's really dumb? Like, you just do things in an unorthodox way that people aren't used to because you're incredibly unique. That's all it is, right? You have this very unique spirit that people are not used to, and so they're going to, because they have never seen someone like you, they're going to downplay it as if, it's confused, but really it's just ahead of its time. So I'm definitely picking up on kind of like Tesla energy here. Whoever you are very, very smart. With the Voldemort here, right, we had Tom Riddle. He was like ahead of his time. He was ahead of his class. He was incredibly intelligent at even the dark arts. And, I'm feeling like really good vibes for this pile too. I don't necessarily think that you guys are going to go to the dark side or do anything evil. I'm sure that you have that in your back pocket. I just don't think that you're going to exert revenge on, innocent bystanders and things like that. But yeah, people are realizing that you definitely know what's up. and that it was stupid of them to think that you didn't. And I absolutely love that for you guys because those moments are so amazing. So thank you so much for coming to my reading. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, please visit my website at snakepetalhealing.com. That's it for today. I just needed to make sure that my light wasn't going to shut off. So if you did enjoy that, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And even share it if you're feeling spunky. All right? So thank you very much, and I'll catch you at the next reading.